Yeah, how's it going, Instagram peeps? This is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist. Just showing you guys a little bit of what I'm doing here. Hopefully you guys get to enjoy it. Let's do this. A little painting. Okay. Here we go. Let's make this happen. So I'm going to be doing just a second. What's going on? My dog, I think, is barking with the UPS guy. So I'm going to be doing a little coastal scene with sort of like a Mediterranean type of scenery, okay? So here we go. And just mixing the little colors, doing different stuff, having fun with it. I mean, that's really what you want. Ultimately what you want is to have fun with it, I think. One of the things that I like to do when I'm painting loose like this is that I like to just kind of approach the whole Monet thing, you know, where you're just putting spots of paint, patches he called it, you know, just patches of paint, and that really makes, you know, it rings a little bell for me. Now, I like to do it with different sets of brushes, of course. Usually I'll draw it with something like this. Once I feel like I've got what I wanted out of it, okay? Then I'll go ahead and step in with a larger brush. So I was using something like this. This is a number 4, I believe. See if you guys can see it, because, yeah, here we go. Just a round brush. And then I'll go in with something slightly bigger. This is slightly bigger. As you can see right here, I think this is a number, I want to say it's a number 10. Let me make sure, because I got a couple more in here. Yeah. So the first one was a number 4, okay? And then the second one is a number 10. All right. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you guys have any questions regarding anything I'm doing here, so I'll be checking in to see the questions. Please don't feel like I've abandoned you if I miss a question. So what I want to do is just try to spot color, you know, where I imagine color is darker. You know, it's really just a game for me. It's not that realistic anymore, that intense. It's become more of a peaceful approach. Something that I like to do. Something I mean, at work doing this. But it's also a peaceful thing. It really allows me to. If there is nothing wrong I can do, right? If I go into that mindset, then all is welcomed, you know. Whatever I'm doing is welcome, and it's fine. I think part of the problem is if I'm thinking I'm not doing something right, then that's where it becomes more challenging. And that happens often to artists. You know. We get stuck in the idea of the artwork as opposed to the fruit of finishing something, expressing something, you know, completing something. That's just how I do it. Let's put some bougainvillea plant. You know, those Mediterranean scenes have a lot of bougainvillea. I love this floral. I like to see painting as something that I do. It's a practice that I do to forgive my mind. You know, the mind is very critical, and it doesn't matter what skill level you are. If you don't control the criticism of your mind, you're always going to feel like you're not good enough. You may, for all we know, you paint like Rembrandt, you know, or you draw like, I don't know, extremely poetic or classical or expressive, like Matisse or Picasso. You're excellent. And if you don't handle that aspect of the self-criticism, the self-doubt, it's going to feel like you're not good enough. You know, you're always going to feel that burden, regardless of your skill level. You can't escape it. You have to overcome it. It's not something you escape. It was very difficult for me to recognize that I'm good enough. You know, it took a while. In the beginning, it was very easy because, you know, like they say, when you don't know what you don't know, then it feels, whatever you're doing feels like magic. But when you start understanding, you know, little things, you know, techniques and styles and brushwork, and then you start becoming it doesn't mean that it's forever. It happens to everybody. It happened to me. I started becoming very self-critical. And then I had what some artists experience as artist block, but later on I understood that it wasn't that. It's not artist block. It's just that you become so critical that you stop trusting yourself. So when you stop trusting yourself, you'll stop. It's not that I ran out of ideas or that I wasn't inspired. Because there was days that I was inspired, but there were very few days that I was inspired. Most days I was too busy being too critical of myself. I was too busy trying to do the next big thing. Trying to impress rather than what I know now as artists, what really our job is, well, I don't know if everybody's that, I know that's my job. It's to inspire, not to impress. You know, impressing is from the ego. I think that it's not a good approach to life or to anything, right? To art, to anything. Inspiring, I think, comes from a sharing, from a different. There's a different point. You start looking at things from a different point of view. When you're inspiring, you're sharing your point of view, and you're not very concerned. It's not that you care, that you don't care. You're just not concerned with how necessarily how it's received from that from an egoic place, no? From I hope they like it. Oh my God, I hope they like. I hope they're I hope they go ooh ah wow. You kind of you start letting go of that. And you start painting. I think from a more on a more personal level, not so much for everybody else anymore. And it's such a thing to get, because I feel like it's difficult because art in itself it's meant to be shown, right? It's out, right? It's visual. So I think it becomes a bit more difficult sometimes to grasp that. It can be. Yeah, check it out. A little colorist. Ooh la la. And then I can do some details, whatever those details are. Maybe some dark shadow. Emphasizing more on the where a very dark shadow would be pronounced. No? Maybe we're putting a super awesome guy or girl right here. And then I'm going to do a little silhouette. I like to do that when it gets full of color, when it gets colorist. I like to do a little silhouette. Give it a bit more expression. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. Where you going, little guy? He's going somewhere. Sign it in red just because, you know, it looks cool. It's like, bam! There it is. Let's paint some sailboats while we're at it. Let's make the wind blow them that way. Just cruising. Let's get some gray and put some of that too. Oh yeah, there it is. There you guys have it. The name is Jose Trujillo, guys. World's greatest living artist, coming to you from the art studio. Check it out. I hope you guys enjoy this. Till next time.